Good day. I am Dorian Kira from Here TV. How did the Hungarian government accept that it will negotiate with Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in Budapest? What message does this meeting have for them? And is it possible to know the details, perhaps the exact date? And what message does this announcement have for those who criticize our country? Peter Magyar puts it as if this was his suggestion. What is his opinion on this? And I have another question. The Minister of Foreign Affairs on Facebook informed me that he had a telephone meeting with Yuri Ushakov. Is it possible to know the details about this? Thank you.
Good day. I am Martin Brem, Hungarian nation. I would like to ask the Foreign Minister that this Kyrgyz meeting and these arrangements would not have been possible without the policy of the Eastern opening. Yesterday, the US President announced that he will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Budapest. What message does this two-success policy of his have for the world and for Brussels? Thank you very much. Thank you. I am Kerry Varner from RTL. Minister, the Prime Minister mentioned in his morning radio interview that he was talking to the Russian President on the phone the day before yesterday. Do you know that this conversation took place? If so, can you tell us something about this? Can the Ukrainian President take part in such a meeting? Or when can he take part in such a meeting? Do you think it is justified for the affected party, the supported party, to be present when the country's fate is decided? There are some people who are already in disagreement with the 1994 Budapest Memorandum, even before this meeting took place. Is there any justification for this? Can such an agreement be formed here? Or is it already possible to form an agreement? Or can this meeting be brought closer to an agreement? Does the Hungarian government have any expectations or suggestions for this meeting? Do we only give a location or a solution to the conflict? And if there is peace, will Hungary change its stance on joining the Ukrainian Union? In the first place, they are referring to the fact that they were concerned about bringing war to the European Union. And one more question. Can you tell us more about this meeting? Two of the world's most protected leaders are arriving in Budapest. How can this meeting be held in a peaceful and secure manner? What steps are being taken in this regard? And is there any information about the exact location or time? And if not, when will there be any information? Thank you. Good morning. My name is Anita Komuves. I would like to ask the Minister about the meeting with President Putin. Since there are EU sanctions against Vladimir Putin, how will his entry into the European Union look like legally? Has the European partners agreed on how to deal with this? And how will the logistics look like? How will the Russian president be able to fly here? Kastnik, Merton, Bloomberg News. I would also like to ask Minister Péter Szijjártó. I've been waiting for the Alaskan summit for a long time, but so far there has not been much progress towards peace. The bombing of Ukrainian civil infrastructure has only become more intense. The United States has been talking about the transfer of new arms systems to the Ukrainians. What will this be like otherwise? And if there is no peace in Ukraine from this summit, then this will not be a problem in the political campaign in Hungary. Thank you. Good morning. Christian Varga, TV Híradó. There was talk earlier that Viktor Orbán will meet with Donald Trump, but the question is whether this will happen now, here at the summit, or will this be a special event? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With respect, I would like to ask the ministers to answer the questions. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say the following about the peace talks between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in Budapest. When the war broke out with 3.5 lines, we said that Hungary was ready to provide all possible assistance to return to peaceful Ukraine. I said this to both Russian and Ukrainian partners. For 3.5 years we have maintained this position. We are on the side of peace. We want peace. For 3.5 years it has been proven that this war will not be resolved in the battlefield. It has been proven that this war will only end if an agreement is reached at the negotiating table. This is why we consider all news to be fantastic news, which is about the fact that the US and the Russian president are talking to each other.
Fenntartjuk ezt az álláspontunkat. Mi a béke pártján állunk, mi békét akarunk. 3,5 éve bebizonyosodott.
This is a clear historical experience that there is always a chance for peace if the great powers of the world can maintain civilized cooperation with each other. For the past 3.5 years, it has been proven that Russian-American cooperation can ensure the return of peace to Central Europe. For the past 3.5 years, we have not allowed the pressure that they have been trying to put on us to establish cooperation with Russia. We did not want to isolate ourselves. For the past 3.5 years, we have kept diplomatic channels open. We have kept the possibility of dialogue open. It has also been proven that we are the only one in Europe, the only country, the only government, the only prime minister, which can maintain equitable and fruitful cooperation with the great powers of the world. The Hungarian Prime Minister can maintain good relations with the American President and can maintain civilized cooperation with the Russian President and the Chinese President. This is the situation. Last night I spoke with the US Secretary of State Christopher Landau, my Russian colleague Sergei Lavrov, and this morning I spoke with Yuri Yusakov, the Russian President's foreign policy advisor. Based on this, I can tell you the following.
Mi nem voltunk hajlandóak elszigetelni magunkat. 3,5 éve nyitva tartjuk a diplomáciai csatornákat, nyitva tartjuk a párbeszéd lehetőségét. És mára bebizonyosodott az is, hogy Európából mi vagyunk az egyetlenek, az egyetlen ország, az egyetlen kormány, az egyetlen miniszterelnök, amely a világ nagyhatalmaival, mindegyikkel, egyszerre,
Today, Yuri Yusakov and I have agreed that the Prime Minister and Putin will speak to each other at 11 o'clock. And I think that will happen at some point. We have agreed to this, so the Prime Minister will be able to provide information about the phone call soon. Yesterday, the Russian Foreign Minister informed me that today they will speak on the phone with his American colleague, who was appointed by President Donald Trump to lead the preparatory meeting on the American side. If the preparatory meeting can take place next week, then we will be able to know the progress. Then we will be able to talk about the time and details. Of course, in Hungary and Budapest, we are ready to provide the necessary conditions for the US and Russian presidents to speak to each other in a safe and peaceful environment. This is the safest country in Europe. This is one of the safest countries in the world. The leaders will be able to speak to each other in a safe and peaceful environment. All kinds of technical issues, starting with the location, are still to be discussed. When the time is right, we will provide information on all technical issues. We are also looking forward to meeting President Vladimir Putin. We are looking forward to meeting President Putin. Of course, we are ensuring that he will enter Hungary, that he will have a successful discussion here, and that he will return home afterwards. There is no need for any kind of agreement with anyone. We are a sovereign country. We will welcome President Vladimir Putin with respect. We will welcome him as a guest, and we will provide the necessary conditions for him to be able to discuss with the American president. After Alaska, there was a very serious tension among everyone, including us. The fact that the meeting was held in a slum, the fact that the meeting was held in a slum, the fact that the meeting was held in a slum means a lot to everyone. We are sorry that since then, the events have been more escalating.
Mindenfajta technikai kérdés, a helyszín kijelöléstől kezdve, az még várat magára, amint az időpont véglegessé válik, akkor természetesen minden technikai kérdésben tájékoztatást fogunk nyújtani. Vladimir Putin elnököt is tisztelettel várjuk, természetesen.
This is why we think it is fantastic that the two presidents met yesterday. This is why we think it is fantastic that they will meet in person. I don't want to delve into science fiction or meetings, but if there is no peace, it will not be a problem in the campaign. but it will be a problem for all of us. I would not underestimate the question of war or peace in a campaign. I would not underestimate the question of war or peace in a campaign. We want peace for 3.5 years, and we want peace so that the Hungarian people can live in peace. If there is a war in the neighborhood of a country, it means everyday danger. We want the Hungarian people to live in peace, and for this we need peace in Ukraine. And for this we need peace in Ukraine. The meeting between the Prime Minister and the US President, the two-way meeting in Washington, is independent of this meeting in the slum. The preparation for that meeting is also underway. We are arranging the details of that coordination, and the results of the two-way meeting should be recommended, but it is independent of the Budapest meeting in the slum. We hope and would like to, that as early as possible, which would create peace, which would prevent hundreds of thousands from dying, which would prevent millions from leaving their homes, and which would prevent this war from escalating further. We provide all the conditions for this. We will do what they ask of us, and we will help where we can. This is all I can say about the Budapest Lehendo summit. Thank you very much. You may have missed a question at the end of my answers. I did not answer on purpose, but I think there is no time for jokes in such an important matter. Thank you.
Budapesti békecsúcs találkozó kapcsán. Köszönöm szépen önöknek, joggal lehetett hiányérzete a válaszaim végén. Egy kérdésre szándékosan nem válaszoltam, de azt gondolom, hogy ilyen fontos ügyben bohócokra nincsen idő. Köszönöm szépen.